This is going to be a full review of the Pipo M6 Max tablet from Pandawill.com. Just before I start, I'd like to quickly mention the earphones that came with it. If you see my unboxing, you'll notice these pretty swanky looking earphones, and they actually sound really good. They sound probably better than Samsung's sort of stock earphones, and that's pretty good. You know, this is the equivalent of maybe a pair of £10 to £15 headphones that you buy in the stores. So yeah, just something to note. I mean, considering the tablet does only cost, it's $266 US, it comes out to about £150 if you're in the UK, and that's with free shipping and a year of warranty as well. So I mean, just these little touches really make the tablet a pretty nice offer. So start with just looking at, you know, what it looks like. If you notice, this kind of got a very nice textured feel on both sides, and I think it's great. I think more tablets should really adopt something like this, you know, because firstly it makes it feel really nice, and secondly it just prevents you dropping it. You know, it does really grip nicely. And then we've got this sort of aluminium back, which, you know, feels really nice and solid, and just, yeah, complements the design choice quite well. It's not cheap and plasticky at all. It says there, Pipo M6. So yeah, now we come on to the front. We have a front-facing camera here, and very little else. We've just got two stereo speakers here, and then on the side we've got these ports, and then the on button. There's volume here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. There's very little to it, so it's quite minimalist and looks great. So let's turn it on. Now this is where it gets interesting. This screen is absolutely amazing. Like, you know, you just try and distinguish the pixels. This thing is very sharp. I hope you can see that. It's really bright and colourful. You know, this is an IPS panel, and I'm not going to lie, this at least rivals the iPad's display. You know, in some ways I'd say it's better. And this tablet is a third of the price, if that. So, I mean, hopefully you can see how sharp it really is. It's stunning, really. So this launcher that we're actually running is Pipo's own customized UI, and it's optimized for this tablet. You know, as you can see, it's all running very quickly. And you have several pages, the home, media, apps, office, and web, and you just cycle through them, and it cycles endlessly, and it's very intuitive. You know, you can, if I want to, say, delete something from here, I can do that, and then I can just add any app from my apps just straight onto there. So yeah, that works really well. You know, on top of that you get this little thing here, and you can easily flick between pages, again, very quickly. Just by touching, you can search, go into the app drawer, and then just see an overview of everything. So yeah, very intuitive, very slick, very smooth, and just it's quite well thought out, I'd say. So I'm going to start this review by talking about the web browsing experience. I mean, two browsers are currently loaded on there. There's the Chrome and the default browser, which are built in, but I'm going to just go with the default one for now, because that'll show you what the tablet's really like out of the box. So first thing you'll see is the keyboard, which is stock Android Jelly Bean keyboard, and works great here. As per usual, let's go to the Apple website. You'll have to excuse the poor internet connection. It's been better, but still, I mean, the tablet's coping really well. You know, it's very fast. Sorry, let's go to iPhone. And as you'll probably know, there's a lot of high-resolution images on this site, especially, which is why I normally use it. So it can really distinguish between devices that can and can't render them. And as you can see, this one's flying through it. You know, and you know, because it supports Flash, we can obviously watch embedded videos and things like that. And it all looks great, you know. I mean, look at this text. Hopefully you can see that's absolutely stunning. Doesn't get much better than that. I mean, even when it's zoomed out from here, you can still read it so clearly. We can go, you know, all the way out, and it's, you know, perfect, really. So web browsing is really good. Can't really fault that. Let's have a listen to some music, because, I mean, these stereo speakers, they look pretty small, but, you know, let's see how they can sound. Let's put this down. So I'm not going to do that for too long. I normally go on with the music, but as you can see, it sounds really, really good. Especially for sort of mobile speakers. You're not going to really need to carry around any external ones unless you really need to sort of pump up the volume, because I mean, not only are these actually louder than they look, but they sound really, really clear. I mean, they're lacking a little bit of bass, but you could probably come to expect that from tablet or mobile speakers. But in terms of when you compare it to the competition, it really is up there. I'd say it rivals the iPad speakers, definitely. So now, you know, with a screen like this, you'd expect video to be absolutely, you know, amazing, and it is. You know, let's just have a look at one of the inbuilt videos showcasing a different tablet. I'm sorry.
有人对遥远的星空投注毕生的热忱，有人对奇幻的热带雨林倾尽一生的积蓄，而 Pipo 的首席设计师似乎只对人们如何玩得更爽这件事儿感兴趣，这也便注定了 M8 从诞生之日起就被贴上了与众不同的标签。我们说屏幕尺寸就像一个人的 size， 当您看到满大街 A+B、B+A 的屏幕规格时，就像您被告知女人只能有35、24、36的三维尺寸，这个世界少了太多的精彩。对于有审美洁癖的
Again, I've really no idea what it's saying, but that was merely just to showcase how it looks. Now here we've got the multitasking tab, so you can see all things that have been open, and if we just swipe up like that, it closes them. It's actually sort of very similar to HTC Sense's way of multitasking, which is by no means a bad thing. Now let's have a look at some photos. These are just some inbuilt ones to showcase the screen quality, which is really, really good. I mean, look at that. You know, you just don't get image quality like that. Sweet corn. Handling it all very, very well. Go the other way. Yeah, so now let's get on to what you've probably been waiting for, which is gaming performance. This thing, as you would expect, is very, very good at gaming. I mean, it's probably what it was originally intended for. It runs a quad-core Rockchip processor, and this is brand new and is it's currently undergoing maintenance. So because it's so new, Rockchip have actually inbuilt some software updates for the processor in the actual settings. So they will constantly be updating it to make the performance even better. But at the minute, it's still very, very strong. So as you can see here in the settings, there's system updates and Rockchip system updates. So you'll be receiving updates not only from Pipo, but also from Rockchip, the manufacturers of the CPU. And you can take a look at a few of the settings. It does have some quite interesting ones, I noticed. I mean, firstly, we've got the HDMI, as you would expect, and you can adjust the resolution and that kind of thing. Then with the display, it has something called Daydream, which is kind of like a screensaver thing. And it can also power wireless displays, so if you have a compatible display, you can actually stream what's on here to your wireless display at any resolution up to the tablet's native resolution, which is really, really impressive. Then, as you can see here, well, we've got screenshot settings. Down here we actually have a screenshot button, so I mean, if I want to capture a certain moment, you just tap that, and that will be saved in the gallery. Let's just come here, and that's saved, which is, yeah, another nice feature. you know, they've at least made use of the bar at the bottom. Most tablets simply have a back, home and a multitasking button, so that's nice. And yeah, just on top of that, it's got all the standard settings like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi and all those kind of things, which is good. So let's have a look at the games. Okay. First, let's have a look at Beach Buggy Blitz. This is a personal favourite of mine, and one I use for just about every tablet I get. I mean, it's optimised for Tegra devices, but obviously this isn't a Tegra device. It still runs great though. Don't forget, this is running these games at native Retina quality resolution. That's sort of over twice the resolution of some tablets like the Nexus 7. So it requires some serious processing grunt, and it's doing pretty well. And you get the idea for that one. I'm not going to spend too long on each example because there's plenty to get through. We'll just close that. Now, let's take a look at a different one. Jetpack Joyride. Another classic, probably because it's free. Must have turned the volume off in the settings. But again, you can see it runs very smoothly as you'd expect. Looks great on the screen. And again, I won't spend too long on this, just to show you that it works. And let's go back. As you can see here, I have an emulator installed, a Game Boy Advance emulator. That works great. You know, no problems there. Some of these sort of tablets have a problem with emulators, they're just not compatible, but this one is, which is always good. Three stars, that's always nice. What else? We have got the rope. Oops. Oh. There we go. As you can see, the bar has moved to the bottom because it's realised that I've rotated the screen. Now, let's take a look at, let's close what's open at the minute. It can become a bit of a resource hog if you've got 3 games open in the background. We have Turbo Fly 3D. It's a pretty old Android game. It's one of those that's sort of one of the launch Android games, so the graphics really aren't up to, today's standards, but, it's still a pretty fun game, Wipeout kind of style racing. And again, this is Retina quality. Okay. For those of you who are wondering how this tablet copes with more demanding games, here is Shadowgun, I think it's called Dead Zone, and this is a free-to-play version of the really popular Android shooter. Now hopefully you'll be able to see here that it actually runs really, really nicely, and at the full resolution this is running. It's about as fully fledged as Android shooters get nowadays. This is clearly all because of the camera. And yeah, you get the idea for that. There we go, yeah, there we go. So that runs really, really good. Again, obviously that software is still in its beta stages, so performance will improve over time. And yeah, so let's take a look at the camera very quickly. Obviously the amount I can actually show you from this is pretty limited, but yeah, we'll have a go. So the quality, as you can tell, it's really, really quite good. I mean, it'd probably be better if I showed you some of the photos that I took earlier when I was testing it out, and we'll find those in the gallery. I just took 3 photos here, so you can see a fair bit of detail on there, and it looks really, really good. As you can see, definitely competes with current high-end smartphone snappers. Yeah, it's just a teddy. It does have autofocus as well, so that helps you, set up some really nice shots, I guess. And yeah, it also has a macro, so you can sort of blur out the background and focus on the foreground, which is another nice. Right, so now let's just take a quick look at the Google Play Store. That is really, really quick, works really, really great. As you can see, it works as it was meant to. It just looks like it was made for this tablet, really. Browse games, and you're gonna have to excuse my poor internet connection. It's constantly disconnecting and stuff, but well, you get the idea. Providing you do have a decent internet connection, this will work absolutely flawlessly for you. And yeah, that pretty much concludes my review. If you've got any more questions, just put a comment in the description. I'll be happy to answer them and maybe upload a second video in the future, just sort of replying to all of your questions. So it's got full support for everything you'd expect from Android. It's consistent updates from Pipo and Rockchip. So performance is only going to get better over time. But I mean, even now, it's pretty flawless. Everything I've tried works, and works at least, decently, but most things work very well. The camera's more than adequate. It's capable of even some low light shots, but obviously it's not quite as good as some of the highest end cameras coming out today. But I mean, who really takes photos with their tablet anyway? So I mean, just for the quick snap every now and again, it's fine. Gmail works well, screenshots work well. I've had 0 issues so far, so I can't recommend the tablet more, really. A year of warranty, free shipping, and that's international, so free shipping anywhere. And it only costs £150. So, yeah, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Rate, subscribe, comment, like, and check out pandawill.com. I'll post the link in the description. Bye.